this session, we are going to understand the distribution-based questions of average and how to do it in normal method and using equal distribution method. The average of 13 results is 60. If the average of first 7 results is 59 and that of the last 7 results is 61, what will be the 7th result? So if we solve in normal method, so we know that the average formula is sum of observations divided by number of observation. So it's given that the average of 13 results is 60, so we are going to find the sum of 13 results. Equal to 780. So similarly we are going to find the sum of first 7. So first 7 results 7 into 59, which gives 413. The sum of last 7 results 7 into 61, it is equal to 427. So the 7th result will be the sum of the first 7 and last 7, and we have to subtract it with the total sum of the 13 results. It is 413 plus 427 minus 780, which is equal to 60. So this is the 7th result. So according to equal distribution, we are going to solve it. So now assume each result has a value of 60. So each 13 results. So now it's given that first 7 results has an average of 59. So according to equal distribution, we have to assume that each 7 numbers has a value of 59, which is 1 less than the assumed value 60. So we have assumed that each value of 13 results is 60. So the first 7 has a value of 1 less than the 60. The first batch of 7 results, so has 7 less than the average of 30 numbers. So average of 30 numbers is 60. So 7 less than the average of 30 numbers. So similarly, last 7, the average is given as 61. So we have to assume that each 7 results has the value of 61. So which is 1 more than the assumed value 60. We have assumed that each value of 13 results has a value of 60. Last 7 results has, so therefore the last 7 results has 7 into 1, that is equal to plus 7, which is 7 more than the average of 30 numbers. So on balancing, so we have to balance it. So on balancing, we get minus 7 plus 7 equal to 0. Value becomes 0, so there is no remaining values to be given which is less or more to the 7th number. So 7th number will be the assumed number 60. The average weight of 25 students is 60. The average of first 12 students is 14 kg and the last 12 students is 17 kg. Find the weight of the 13th student. So according to the normal method, we know that in order to find the 13th student, we have to subtract it with the sum of 25 students. to subtract this sum of the first 12 and the last 12 with the sum of the 25 students. The sum of 25 students is 25 into 16 minus sum of first 12, 12 into 14, the sum of last 12 to 17. How I am finding the sum? Average is equal to sum divided by the numbers. So that is 400 minus 168, so plus 204, which is equal to 28 kg. So this is the weight of the 13th student. So now we will solve using equal distribution method. So it's given that the average weight of 25 students is 16. So we have to assume that. So now we are going to solve by equal distribution method. So we have to assume that each student in the batch of 25 students has a weight of 16 kg. So given that the first batch of 12 students has an average weight of 14 kg. So according to equal distribution, we have to assume that each student of the first batch has an weight of 14 kg. So which is 2 less than the assumed weight 16 kg. So we have assumed that each student has a weight of 16 kg. So the first batch has 2 less than the assumed weight. So the entire set of 12 students in the first batch has 24 less than the assumed average weight of 25 students. So the last set of 12 students has an average weight of 17 kg. That's what it's given. So according to equal distribution, we have to assume that each student of the last 12 has an weight of 17 kg. So which is 1 more than the assumed weight. So the entire last batch has 12 more than the assumed average weight of the 25 students. So according to equal distribution, balancing, we get minus 24 plus 12 is equal to minus 12. These 24 students, 12 plus 12 is equal to 24, has 12 less than the actual average weight of the 25 students, which must be equally distributed or given to the remaining students. So remaining students is only the 13th student, so which is only one student. So the 13th student should get 12 more than the assumed value. We have assumed that each student has a weight of 16 kg. So the 13th student is also having 16 kg as average weight, but it should get 12 more to equally distribute to the remaining student. The remaining student is only 1, so I have put 1 here. So on adding, we get 28 kg. The 13th student's weight is 28 kg. Average age of 80 girls was 20 years. The average age of 20 of them was 22 years, and that of the another 20 was 24. Find the average of the remaining girls. So according to equal distribution method, we have to assume that the age of each 80 girls is 20 years. This is the first step. So it's given that the first 20 has an average age of 22 years. So which is more than the assumed age 20 years. So assumed age is 20 years. Last 20 girls has an average age of 24 years. So which is 4 more than the assumed age of 20 years. So the first set of entire 20 girls has nearly 40 more than the assumed average age of 80 girls, and these last 20, so plus 4 into 20, that is equal to plus 80, which is 80 more than the assumed average age of 80 girls. So on balancing we get plus 40 plus 80 is equal to plus 120. So these 40 girls has nearly 120 years extra than the actual average age of 80 girls. Than 80 girls. Okay, so which must be taken from these 40 girls and it must be equally distributed to the remaining 40 girls in order to achieve the equal distribution. So that is the next for set of 40, the remaining girls. We have to find the average of remaining girls. The remaining girls number is 40. So the next 40 girls should have 120 less. So remaining 40 girls as an average of 20 years. So we have to take 120 from the remaining 40 girls. Distribute this 120 equally to the remaining 40 girls. This 20 minus 3 is equal to 17 years. Age of 7 boys sitting in a row facing north is 26 years. If the average age of first 3 boys is 19 years and average age of last 3 boys is 32 years, find the average age of the middle boy. So now assume each 7 boys has an age of 26 years because it's given that the average age of 7 boys is 26 years. So the first 3 boys has an average age of 19 years, which is 7 less than the 7 less than the assumed age, 26 years. Equal to 26. Entire 3 boys of the first batch has 21 less than the average age of the 7 boys. So the last 3 boys has an average age of 32 years. That's what is given in the question. So each boy has nearly 6 more than the assumed average of 26 years. So the entire 3 boys of the last batch has the 6 into 3 is equal to plus 18. So we get that the last 3 boys has 18 more than the average age of the 7 boys. So on balancing we get minus 21 plus 18 is equal to minus 3, that is 3 less than the actual average age of the 7 boys. So make it up and distribute equally to the remaining boys. So only one boy remains, that's the middle boy. So the age of the middle boy will be, so we have assumed that the age of the middle boy is 26. So just add it. So the age of the middle boy is 26, that's what we have assumed. So now we have to make it up as these 6 boys has 3 less. So make it up and distribute equally to the middle boy. So only one boy remains. So 29 years. So this is according to the equal distribution method. Whatever is less or more, we have to equally distribute to the remaining persons. Explain it again. In the question it's given as the 7 boys has an average age of 26 years. So we have to assume that each boy in the set of 7 has age of 26 years. The first 3 boys has 19 years. So which is 7 less than the assumed age 26 years. So the entire 3 boys of the first batch has 21 less than the average age of the 7 boys. So last 3 boys has 18 more than the average age of the 7 boys. So on balancing we get minus 3, which is less than the actual average age of the 7 boys. So middle boy age is 26 plus 3, that is equal to 29 years, because we have got 3 less. So we have to equally distribute to the remaining person, that is only 1 person remains, that's why I have got 1. So we get the answer as 29 years. That's it.